Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Paint a Dog TV. Very excited to be back out here with all of you and with Joe. We've got Joe on camera this afternoon, folks. Just him and I braving the scorching heat out here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve once again. And we are busy searching for the cheetah brothers, everybody. Tracks everywhere here on the southern fence line of Blowbunk, not too far from our camp. Oh, what's that running? Might have just been some Franklins. So, as I was saying, everybody, you've got tracks going both directions here. From sometime this morning, by the looks of things, the vehicles have driven over most of the tracks. I'm just trying to figure out which is the freshest set right now, but it is a scorcher of a day, as I was saying, about 36 degrees Celsius right now. So, not likely that the cheetah males would have moved too much today. We're hoping that they might have settled somewhere nearby here in the shade. There's a number of popular spots along the southern fence here that they often pick, where they like to just wait for it to cool down before they start hunting again in the afternoon. But now that I've just switched off the car, I just realized there's a really nice cool breeze blowing through. So you never know, they might have moved again. I just see there's some vehicle activity here. Vehicles have been in and out here, so I just wanted to check to see if there were any. You see there are some fresh tracks on top of vehicle tracks here, but again of the cheetah going both directions. Now literally just 300 yards down the road is one of the cheetah males' favorite spots. Termite mound with a nice big tree growing out of the termite mound that provides really good shade and a nice vantage point for these cheetah to just rest on top of during the day. They always do that. They like to sleep above the ground, above the grass level, so that they can spot danger approaching. So we'll just go have a quick look there. Again, tracks going both directions here. Just going to quickly say hello to all of our pack members that have joined us this afternoon. Hello Brian, hello Brandy, hello Carol, good afternoon Jennifer, hello Connie, hello Barbara, hello Mary, hello Ashpalicious. Good afternoon, Yubba Dubba Dubba Dub. Hope I said that right. Good afternoon, Katie. And good afternoon, Jan. Hello to all of our pack members that have joined us. Thank you for making this drive possible. And welcome to everybody on the public channel. Hope you're all going to enjoy the afternoon with us. I'm very excited. Let's see if we can find these cheetahs first up, everybody. We might head on towards the boma after that and check in on the wild dogs, and then we'll see where the wind blows us from there. Now this is the spot I was telling you about, where there's this termite mound and a couple of trees that provide good shade, just here on our left. Don't see the boys, however. Not at their favorite spot. It's so hot today, you know, they might have even headed off to go and try find water, go have a drink. And the nearest water to them here is probably Leipad Dam, which is about a half a mile directly north of us. They might have done that. Let's just see if there's any tracks here, everybody. those cheetah defecated here. Just the smallest amount of scat next to the road here. Bulk of the tracks have them going back west, which is where I got the report of them being seen. It might be there where those vehicle tracks were going in and out of the block. Let's just circle around to the other side, the next road over, which is very close by, and just see if they didn't come out on that end. Doesn't appear they've continued along the fence line heading east. Two very lovely words indeed, Jennifer. Cheetah brothers. Let's hope we can find them. As I was saying, they might have headed towards Lowveld Dam, so we'll go past the road that heads towards that waterhole. Just see if there's any tracks leading down that way. I like to just sort of drive back on this next road that runs parallel to the fence as well for a bit and see if we see any tracks. Lots of monkey tracks, no cheetah tracks yet. Good afternoon, Ariana. Lovely to have you with us. Hope you're well. We are busy searching for the cheetah males that were in this area early this morning. No definitive signs from this afternoon yet, however. This is the road that takes you down to the waterhole I keep talking about, Lowveld Dam. Don't see the boys' tracks here. Just a whole bunch of monkeys that went down towards the dam. This cheetah came out here. You can see there's like a pretty clear gap through the trees here, a break in the stand of trees. It's exactly where these two cheetah came out from the fence line, and they're heading north, so they might have headed towards the waterhole after all. Just make sure they haven't doubled back. like they have. Just want to see where these tracks go off here. Can't actually see where those cheetah left the road there, everybody, but the general direction does look like it's north. Just want to shoot a bit further along here and make sure they didn't just do a loop in this block and continue west before we go check the waterhole. Good afternoon, Misguided Guide. Lovely to have you with us, sir. Hope you're well. And hello, Michael. Nice to have you with us. No tracks of those cheetah here, everybody. Right. Let's go check out Lowveld Dam, everybody. See if the boys have headed that way for a drink. We might even get lucky with the hippos at Lowveld Dam. Haven't seen them for a while. It's one of their preferred water holes. Something just caught my eye off to the left here, but it's just grass blowing in the wind. Thought it was a cheetah's ears flicking. Good afternoon, Betty. Hope you're well. And thank you, Connie. Yes, indeed. That is what we are searching for right now. The 2 cheetah males. The last set of tracks I found looked like they did head north, away from the fence, in the general direction of Lowveld Dam, big waterhole, which is not too far from here now. Just got to take it slow, and Joe and I need to keep a lookout in the shade here, in case they didn't quite make it all the way to the water. Might be still somewhere here in the shade.
Water. There is a Poole rhino coming from distant south to north towards the distant.
Now, I would have imagined I would have seen the cheetah's tracks on this road by now. It's certainly the easiest route to the waterhole. Cheetah, like many of the other cats, will very often use the roads, the path of least resistance, to move in whichever direction they need to. The only tracks I'm seeing on the road here are of a civet from last night. Anyway, we're very close to the waterhole now, so I'm just going to pop in there, everyone, and have a quick look. Starting to doubt whether the cheetah did end up coming to the water. There is also a drainage line, a small ravine that runs parallel to us to my left. They might have gone down that way. Seeing a lot of vervet monkeys already around the water's edge. They wouldn't be there if those cheetah were here. Vulture just took off from one of the trees here. Big vulture. Might have been a white-backed.
Couple of taken out.
It too might have just been here for the water though. Vultures actually bathe quite regularly, almost daily. Ah, here's another vulture. Pair of hooded vultures. Well, there they go. Interesting. Let's go have a look at the water now, everybody, and see if there's any sign of those cheetah. Like I say, I doubt it with the monkeys here. Monkeys all seem pretty relaxed. There's definitely no cheetah around this waterhole, but lots of monkeys, lots of vervet monkeys. No sign of the hippos yet. These vervet monkeys have certainly got the prime spot here though. Good shade, water to drink regularly. And the trees growing around the water's edge still have good foliage. Might even still have some fruit. Please repeat, Jana. Joe couldn't hear you. Thank you. Just getting an update from Jana, everybody. We have a new keyword for the week, and the keyword this week is claw. So for those of you interested in getting your hands on the painted dog image of the week, please submit the keyword claw through to Painted Dog TV, and we'll send off that photograph to you. While you all enjoy the vervet monkeys here in front of us, everybody, I just want to quickly mark my territory. I'll be back with you shortly. sign of those hippos, Joe. Still eluding you.
Afternoon stations, Andrew Mobile from Hayes. Any updates?
Such a beautiful spot, isn't it, everybody? Love this waterhole. Lovely to see the monkeys as well. All right, so doesn't look like the cheetah were here. Perhaps they've doubled back. Or perhaps they've just settled in the shade somewhere halfway between where they were this morning and this waterhole. Anyway, we're going to leave the search for the cheetah boys for now, everybody. What I'd like to do next is head up towards the boma and just go touch base with our very small little pack of wild dogs, see how they're doing, see if we can see them. There's one of the white-backed vultures, probably the same one we had earlier, take off from the tree back there. Just sitting in this dead tree up ahead there. Looks like a juvenile. Yeah, it is. Young white-backed vulture. Very nice. You can see it's still got a lot of feathers around the back of the beak, and the feathers across its head and neck are still very fluffy. As they get older, that gets neatened up. Feathers sit flat to the head a bit more, and they lose a lot of the feathers around the back side of the beak because of the way they so aggressively feed on carcasses. Always nice to see youngsters out in the wild. Endangered species, of course, the vultures. Andrew for Gareth.
Standing by.
Where are you headed?
I was actually just radioing you to see if I can assist you in any way.
If you can maybe just go check that area of where the cheetah were this morning. on the southern fence line west of Snail Lane. You'll see where the vehicles have gone off road in like a graded section off the road. I think that's where they were lying up. If you can maybe just drive in a bit there and just see if they haven't gone back to that spot.
Copy that, okay. We'll head there now.
So just chatting to Andrew there, everybody. I think we've got some guests in camp at the moment. He's maybe just taking them out on a little bumble this afternoon. So I've asked him to just go back to that point where the cheetah were reported this morning and just have another look there. They might have gone back to that spot. As I mentioned before, it's very hot. Still very hot.
Rhino conscript, open look.
So you never know. They might have been somewhere close by there and we just missed them. So Andrew's going to go have a quick look. I think the reality is as soon as it starts to cool down, as soon as the sun starts to set, they will move. Very likely move along the fence or along Hoofpad, which is the road very close to the fence. It runs parallel to it. So let's go check on the dogs, and then after that I'll go back that way, everybody. See if we have any luck with the cheetahs a bit later.
Marking Marble and Liquid, standing by. Crossing the 4 different stations on Blybank, any starting from Rhino at distance. Copy that.
Good afternoon, Rosemary. Glad you could join us. Beautiful afternoon here on the Rietspruit. Very hot afternoon. We have been doing a bit of a search for the cheetah males that were seen this morning, but we've had no luck this afternoon as of yet. But looking forward to hopefully seeing the 3 wild dogs in our boma. Shouldn't be too much longer, everybody, by the way, before they get released. Hoping in the next week we'll get an update from the EWT about their release. Sorry, Chris, can you repeat that? Copy, thanks. So I did miss the cheetah, everybody, where that vehicle had off-roaded. Must have been sitting under a tree somewhere there and we just missed them. No, Andrew won't go there anymore, I don't think. He doesn't need to. Chris has found the cheetah there. So that's good news, everybody. We'll head back there after the boma. Ah, I see a wild dog already. I was just going to say, everybody, I wouldn't be surprised if they come to the gate, because these dogs are hungry. Andrew told me he's due to feed them tomorrow. Hello, you beautiful things, you. Oh, that's brilliant. 3 hungry wild dogs. The male closest to us here now, on the left. Look at how they're looking at us. They're like, have you brought an impala with you? Sadly not today, guys. Oh, that's wonderful. Nice to have them all together and all close to the fence for us like this. As you can clearly see, everybody, these dogs are now completely habituated to the vehicles, which is also fantastic. That's something we were really hoping to see before the release, because there is a fair amount of vehicles that traverse on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, and the last thing we wanted was them being viewed by vehicles and then being spooked and leaving the reserve unnecessarily. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this little pack once we do release them. Hoping, of course, that they're going to stick around. I think the reality, however, is they'll very likely move on. Mary, I see you've asked, is it mostly local tradition that makes people dislike vultures? Not so much here. I must be honest, I don't know all of the myths or beliefs around vultures in all of the different cultures that we have here in South Africa. What we do know, of course, is that they sadly do kill these vultures for their body parts, and that's got a lot to do with their traditional medicine and beliefs in the regard that they believe they can predict futures by using vultures' body parts, particularly vultures' heads and beaks. Because of how excellent their eyesight is and how far they can see, a lot of the local cultures believe that using and consuming vultures' heads and beaks will help you be able to see into your future. Quite a ridiculous belief, of course, and detrimental to the population. But in terms of disliking them, I think a lot of people don't like vultures because, you know, they're one of the ugly five. They were always buried inside a carcass. Everyone thinks they're stinky and dirty and disease-ridden animals, but the reality is they're probably one of the cleanest animals out here because of how regularly they bathe. Yeah, the dogs are looking really good, everybody. Ready to be released. Well, in the immediate future, ready to be fed. They're a little bit lean, but like I mentioned, Andrew will be feeding them tomorrow. So they'll be very happy this time tomorrow evening. But as you can see, they've all settled now. They've realized that we're not going to feed them, and awesome to see them all settled together. Just love those ears. Ridiculous ears. But of course they need them. They're very dependent on their hearing. The African wild dog, both for prey and for foe. Like little radars, each of those ears. Beautiful female that Joe's zoomed in on here now. You can see she's got a much smaller head than the male that we were focused on before. He is much larger. And as you were pointing out there, Mary, obviously also much darker. And yes, Jennifer has that little nick, that little notch in his right ear, which is very distinctive. But of course, two of the dogs also have collars on, so one of the males, one of the females. So we can monitor them closely after the release. Those collars usually last about 2 years on these dogs before they give out, before the battery gives out. But we usually change the collars before that point. And because of how critically endangered they are, we need to obviously monitor them very, very closely. Particularly a pack like this, which has got good genetics. Sadly, the reality of the situation that wild dogs are in, a lot of people have been breeding them, but breeding them incorrectly throughout our country, and have inbred packs on their farms, and that is another massive risk to this species. And so it's another reason why we want to monitor them. We don't want these packs with good genes mixing with tainted packs. I actually spoke to Brent about it recently, and what do you do with these wild dogs now that just carry bad genes, are genetically not viable? I think the reality is they need to be euthanized, sadly, because they now pose a bigger risk to the wild free-roaming packs that have good genetics. Never completely still, these dogs, are they? Always popping their heads up. Naturally, that's how they are every day, always alert to any danger that might be around. Jennifer, the only thing we can go on at the moment is what Brent has told us, and that he, I think, had a discussion with Cole from the EWT, and they were hoping that they would be released relatively soon. So within a week or two, they need to rediscuss it. All the powers that be from the Endangered Wildlife Trust, and us here, of course, before the release happens, but hopefully very soon. We'll obviously update you all as soon as we know that date. We'll be here, don't you worry, when that happens.
Okay, copy. proceed of the Santanto lock, please?
All right, beautiful dogs. We're going to leave you in peace. Let you enjoy your afternoon snooze without me bothering you. Lovely to see them, folks. Like I say, really looking forward to that release, which should be soon. Amazing. They've got up again because the engine started. I promise I didn't bring an Impala. All right. Let's head over to Andrew now, everybody, who is sitting with the cheetah males. Andrew, I'd like to come join you with the cheetah. I'm just leaving the boma now.
Another 10 to 15 minutes out, I'll make my way over.
Sounds like there's two other vehicles making their way towards the cheetah.
There's Poole right Pino on the other side of the fence, like on the southern fence, just in the creek stop.
So we'll have some company with us at the cheetah. Look at this beautiful view around us here, everybody. Stunning view of the Drakensberg mountain range, the Klein Drakensberg. A view that never gets old. Now I have some news to share with all of you, everybody. Some bittersweet news. My incredible time with all of you and with Painted Dog is sadly coming to an end very soon. I am going to be leaving Painted Dog at the end of this month. I very fortunately have a thriving business that I started at the beginning of this year. And I also have a son and wife that never see me anymore because I've been juggling said business and my time here with Painted Dog. And so, like I say, it is truly bittersweet. It's absolutely no hard feelings at all. I sat down with Brent and Charles recently and discussed it all. But yeah, it's time for me to focus my attention elsewhere. I'm sure you'll all see me again here and there. I'm obviously always going to be on Leadwood. I'm about to build a house here. So I'm sure we'll bump into each other regularly. And as I said to Brent, I would love to still be involved in the conservation work as much as I can, particularly here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. So I'm sure I'll see you all when we're doing any other conservation work here. But in terms of working for Painted Dog full-time and guiding all of you wonderful people on these virtual safaris, these live safaris, that's going to come to an end at the end of August. So we'll definitely just make sure that all of the drives that I have left before the end of the month are goodies, make them count. And hopefully I'll see some of you when you come out here to visit the team here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Been incredible. That's the first thing I said to Brent and Charles, is how grateful I am for the exposure that I've had during my time here, all the incredible moments we've had working together in conservation. I cherish that along with these awesome drives that we do on a regular basis. I love this place, I love this reserve. I'm not going anywhere soon in terms of remaining on the reserve, but it's been a privilege. And I thank you all, the ones that I've formed really close relationships with. It's been a lot of fun. But it's not over yet. What have we got? Got just over 2 weeks left of drives, everybody, together. Certainly going to enjoy them all with all of you. Just starting to cool down ever so little at the moment. I wonder if these cheetah males might not get up soon. I'm hoping they will, everybody. It'll be fun to follow them and see what they get up to. I don't know if they've eaten recently. But I'm heading straight there now. We'll be with them relatively soon, and I hope we can spend a bit of time with them. As I mentioned, there are 2 other vehicles making their way, but very likely they'll pop in and go, especially if the cheetah are just resting. Just reading all of your comments here, everybody. Thank you. It's very kind of you. I'm very grateful for both the comments, but also all the time that we've had together. And yes, I'm sure we'll see each other again. And yes, Kate and Harrison are going to be very happy to have more of me. I'm equally just as excited to spend more time with my son, who is just over 3 years old. So it's a really critical time where you want to be spending all the time you can with your little one. And Michael, will certainly catch up when you come to visit, don't you worry. Might even need you to come and play a game of paddle and eat a pizza and have a beer with me. Right, so back where we started, folks, back here on the southern fence line.
I'm also responding for female cheetah. I'm 15 minutes away. I'm near walk, but close to Madrid. Park. Lane on the rock. I'm not sure if station number one. Station number 5. Okay.
I can see Andrew's vehicle up ahead here, everybody. This is where Chris located them a little earlier. It's amazing. This is exactly where I got off the vehicle and wandered around looking at the tracks where this vehicle had gone in here. His cheetah didn't even stand up while I did that. It's just unreal. I'm so relaxed with everybody, you know. It's amazing how habituated they've become. One of them is lying down just here in front of me. Let's check your ISO there, Joe. The second male is just beyond him, folks. Lying down sort of below a raised mound there. Absolutely gorgeous cats, eh? Yes, I love seeing these cheetah boys. Like I say, everybody, we're going to get comfortable here. They don't look particularly full, so I do think they're going to go hunting. This is the collared male, of course, that we're looking at here. I think he was the one that brought down the Inyala that we had on that live drive not too long ago. Absolutely incredible scenes. I'm sorry, Carol. Like I say, bittersweet. Definitely going to miss all of you. But it won't be the last time we see each other, I'm sure. And yes, indeed, Liz, the show will carry on without me, I assure you. Painted Dog TV is just growing and growing, and there are more guides that will come through, and you'll definitely have to break in the new guides. But we will not stop our conservation efforts, our virtual safaris. Oh, I think our timing might be perfect here, everybody. He's just got up, might do a bit of stretching, a bit of scent marking. Hoping they might start moving now. There's the stretch. Look at that camouflage. Incredible. Just going to reposition the vehicle here, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate your very kind words. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Liz. Oh, it's been one heck of a ride. An incredible year. And like I say, a big thank you to Brent and to VM, to Charles, and to my other crew members, Jana, Andrew, to Matt, to Basil. We've had a lot of fun together. And we've done some incredibly important work together as well. And hopefully I'll still be able to help out with that from time to time. So I think this boy just got up for a bit more shade and maybe a little bit of distance away from the other vehicle that can't really go anywhere else, to be honest, because the cheetah males were sleeping right next to the road. I think he just wanted to move a little further away from the vehicle and the road. But he's very happy now. As you can see, his eyes are closed. He's just resting again. But the temperature is slowly dropping, so I'm hoping I'll start moving pretty soon, folks. Just love that black marking that runs from the eye around the mouth, the teardrop. So pretty. Just having a close look at this cheetah now. Oh, not the one you're looking at, sorry. That's okay, Joe, stay where you are, it's all good. But the other male, I'm just looking at his left eye, below the left eye. I thought I noticed a bit of a wound there, but I can't see him now, or see that side of his face. He's just turned away. Just have another look when he looks the other direction again. Doesn't look like anything major, just something small. No. He's looked back at me now, everybody, and I was wrong. It's just some spots. He looked at me briefly and then looked away. You see the dark spots below that left eye? I thought he had a wound there, but it's just actually the spots that have collected under that left eye. Oh, look at those dark amber eyes. They are so gorgeous, these cats.
I'm 2 minutes out, 2 or 3 minutes out, and I keep coming.
That's some wet fur under his belly there. See how the fur is just a bit clumped and matted and turned up on the belly of that cheetah? I wonder if that might not be from sweat. The only thing is I don't think they have sweat glands on their bellies. Cats usually just have sweat glands in their paws. That might have occurred after he urinated. He may have laid down on his own urine. Certainly no water around here. Still very sleepy. Are you, buddy? Okay. Go. He's got a more serious face, that other cheetah. Noticed that the other day. Almost like a more square head. The male without the collar. I don't know, he just looks more serious to me. The other one. More grumpy.
Can you confirm where you left those lion, where the lion tried were this morning? Were they still moving when you left them, or had they settled down? They were still moving when I left them, but someone called them in earlier. Yeah, carry on like this right now at this function to passenger. Still static. Copy, thanks.
I'm just looking behind me here, everybody, and I'm still blown away at how I missed these cheetah. I was standing literally 30 yards behind where I'm parked right now, looking at their tracks going up and down and where the vehicle had gone off road. And the boys didn't even put their heads up. Couldn't care less about my presence.
Andrew on lock at the Burma.
Now, in about 15 minutes' time, everybody, that sun is going to be pretty close to setting. The temperature is going to drop pretty quickly after that. I just want to hang around and see what these two boys do at that point. I'm actually now surprised they haven't got up already. Might mean they're not interested in hunting this afternoon. Would have thought they would have gone hunting, judging how thin they are. But very often they don't sleep close to the fence like this because they know that the male lions, all the lions, often walk the fences as well. So they like to sleep in the blocks away from the fence. certain they'll get up regardless, whether they go hunting or just go and find a safer place to sleep for the night. I'm sure they're going to move. We'll just see if that happens in the next 15 minutes. Mary, I see you say that I'm a bit muffled. Why? That is, my mic hasn't moved. How do I sound there, Joe? Clear? Okay. Beautiful call there of the black-collared barbet. So peaceful.
Yeah, I'll leave you the lock of the surprise. So static. And position 1 second on lock. Confirm your location. Yeah, on Rietspruit Junction, Kudu Clip. Yeah, Senpai. What you got that? That's right at Rietspruit Junction and Kudu Clip. You make the sign here. What are you asking me? Yeah, I'm pressing up for Rietspruit and Rietspruit because I'm taking off battery. I can't talk to you. I definitely the location is right. There is got the headband with you there.
Look at that. That cheetah lies down behind the grass like that. How those spots break up the animal's outline. Amazing. Incredibly camouflaged. Good afternoon, Sue. Lovely to have you with us. You've certainly arrived at a fantastic sighting of the 2 cheetah males. We are just sleeping off an incredibly hot day here in the Lowveld. 36 degrees Celsius today. It's been a scorcher. One of the cheetahs just perked up, the one on the left here. wonder if he heard something. I'm fantastic, thank you, Sue. Hope you're well. Hard not to be a happy man when you're sitting out here in the bush with 2 male cheetah and the peace and quiet. Sue, my wife, would definitely appreciate the cold. She does not like the heat. I reckon the cheetah would be grateful for it too. Watching this cheetah who's now moving towards us, watching his body language. It's almost as if he was looking around for his brother. Heading towards his brother now. That belly actually looks a bit fuller. Maybe they did eat something small this morning and that's why they're not in any rush this afternoon. That's a great shot with the two of them together like that. Just listening to Aurella's vehicle start up. It's got a serious rattle to it when it starts. Skorokor. That is a beautiful picture right there, everybody, with them both facing the same direction. Cheers, Numzan. Famba kahle this way. Oh, wouldn't that be the dream, Michael? See some leopard cubs before I go. My goodness. I'll tell you what, even if I don't, even when I find leopard cubs, I will definitely let you all know and guide the next Painted Dog TV guide straight to them, I assure you. I won't be hiding anything from you guys when I'm operating on Leadwood or out of Leadwood. Especially not something as incredibly special as leopard cubs. Michael, I see you've asked what are the odds of us seeing a roaming male cheetah that's left his mom coming onto the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Well, it's not impossible, that's for sure. But given the fact that cheetah don't often go through fences, and there being so many fences in this area, I think it would be quite unlikely. Plus, of course, most of the cheetahs these days are monitored. Besides, obviously, well, a certain number of the cheetah in the Kruger National Park are monitored, but the bulk of South Africa's population sits in Kruger. And they are so happy with what they've got there, they don't need to venture any further out. But it's not impossible, Michael. Never say never. Oh, that's a good shot there, Joe. The sunset. Hearing you loud and clear there, Betty. So I've got a week to find leopard cubs, no problem. Andrew's just driven past us again on Hoofpad, the main road that runs parallel to us. And it's like he was sitting right next to me. I can hear him from a mile away. Booming voice, that young man. You boys are looking very settled in here. Maybe they are going to sleep right here for the night. I'll tell you what though, everybody, we'll give them another 10 minutes. See if they do anything before we head off. Use the last bit of our evening drive to search for the nocturnal animals that will soon be becoming active. So when I saw the first cheetah, the one closest to us here now, he looked a bit lean when he got up and walked over to this position. But having seen the second male come and now join him, he looked a bit more plump. So maybe they did catch something small early this morning, fed on it, maybe got chased off of that carcass by another predator. So I think they have eaten something small. And perhaps the furthest male from us there had more to eat than his brother before they got moved off that carcass. It's very likely the case, due to them not having moved at all this afternoon. Thanks very much, Sue. Appreciate your kind words. Yeah, it's bittersweet for me. I've loved my time here at Painted Dog. But my family and my business need more of my time. I'll always stay closely connected to Painted Dog. I mean, Brent and I have been mates for years, and we'll always be mates. So I'm not gonna ever be too far away. That's for sure. And obviously have met some other wonderful people here at Painted Dog TV over that time, who I now consider very close friends. So I'll always stay in touch, and I was saying earlier, we'll always hopefully be able to contribute on the conservation side as much as possible whenever I'm available. I love getting my hands dirty and protecting our precious wildlife. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mary. Don't you worry. Whenever I spot you, I'll be chasing you down when I'm out on game drives with my son, my wife. Come and interrupt the next Painted Dog TV guide's game drive. Won't even have a clue who I am, but I'll just come racing in wildly, screaming, "Hello everybody." I'll always be close by. Alright, cheetah boys, you clearly are not going anywhere this evening, and that's fine. I hope you have a wonderful sleep, an uninterrupted sleep tonight. Good news is the lions aren't anywhere nearby, so you should be pretty good for the evening. But what a treat, everybody, to come and spend half an hour with the boys. Let's head off and see if we can find one of the other spotted cats this evening. Leaving the cheetah male's southern fence line west of Snail Lane unattended.
How many electric stations on Durban Street?
So 100% standing by 5 and 6.
Copy that, thanks.
Just as we were leaving the Wild Dog Boma, everybody, Joe asked me if he could mark his territory. And I need to mark my territory again as well, so I'm going to let poor Joe do his thing. So I'm just going to stop here quick, folks. It'll just be 2 minutes and we'll be back with you again shortly.
No.
Cheers, Jan. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Station, I'm leaving the 5, still station, on the 7 lock. Full station, done.
Also really hoping, everybody, that I might be able to produce an aardvark before the end of my time with you all on Painted Dog TV. This time of the year is the best time of the year for aardvark. I'm seeing the cheetah males tracks on the road here. They came up here. They must have made their kill somewhere around here this morning, early this morning, I reckon. Yeah, going back to the aardvark, everybody, this is the best time of year to find them here in this particular part of Africa, here in the Lowveld. The bush is at its thinnest in terms of how dense it is and all the foliage, so it's easiest to spot them at this time of the year. They do sometimes get out early on these winter evenings. I know it's been a scorcher of a day, but I promise you it's already dropped probably 15 to 17 degrees Celsius in just the last hour. It's amazing how much difference there is in temperature day and night here this time of the year. And the aardvark often get active now when that temperature change happens, just before it's dark. And not just them, the pangolins too.
I'm stopping for a short feeder. What about that?
Oh, honey badgers, 2 of them. Oh man, 2 honey badgers, everybody. They've just come out of this hole here. Look back there, Joe. See them trotting there. They're going away from us, sadly, everybody. Damn. Old aardvark burrow at the base of this marilla tree. These 2 honey badgers must have just come out of that hole. They sleep in these holes during the day. Oh, that's a pity. Probably stopped just out of sight. I can't hear them moving anymore. But the road loops back towards them here on the other side. Let's just quickly see if we don't get them on the other side here. Perhaps they'll come out on the next road here. It's maybe a bit too far. This road. So cool. So just like the aardvark, they get active now. And you might notice the area that I'm driving in is particularly open. We're right on top of a ridge crest here, which is where you get most of the termite activity on top of these ridges. And it's why I particularly chose this road, why I wanted to come along here, hoping for the aardvark. Now the reason the honey badgers were just seen up here is because, like I say, they use aardvark burrows as their homes. Old, abandoned aardvark burrows. They just pretty much ignore each other. Joe was just asking me, everybody, what happens if an aardvark bumps into a honey badger? I'm sure it happens all the time in these burrows, but they leave each other alone. A honey badger would certainly take down a young aardvark, however. Honey badgers, of course, being omnivorous, do eat meat, eat lots of bugs. Then they're also very fond of honeycomb, which is where they got their name. They eat the bulbs, tubers of certain plants. Fortunately, folks, this road is just too far off from where those honey badgers were headed, I think. We'll just go back on ourselves here, everyone. Go back to the point where I saw those honey badgers. Because what happens is, when you first come upon them, they run because they get spooked by the vehicle. But if you switch off and just sit, very often they'll then come out. It's just that initial moment that spooks them and they run off. So I'm just going to go back and stop here and wait and see if we get lucky. Because it's very open here. We might get lucky. They might come back towards the road here. Just here by that big marilla tree. Amazing little creatures, these honey badgers. Fearsome. Let's just sit here quietly. See if anything happens here in the next couple of minutes. Exactly, Mary, it's the noise and movement that spooks them. In fact, honey badgers will habituate very quickly to the presence of man. See it in a lot of the camps here in the Kruger region. The honey badgers will eventually just start walking right past guests and staff alike. Couldn't care less, just going about their business, trying to raid all of the lodge's dustbins. Naughty little buggers. They get in everywhere. They are tenacious, powerful, and incredibly intelligent. That's why I love them so much. I was alerted to these two honey badgers while I was driving along because I could hear something running over the leaf litter underneath the trees there where Joe's pointing now. And unfortunately, I can't hear anything stirring anymore. They've kept it. I was hoping they might just come back to the route they were heading on initially before I spooked them. But they've changed their plans. And they're going to go a different way tonight. Oh. Gorgeous backdrop again here to my left. Now that the sun's gone down, the silhouettes of these trees and the Drakensberg Mountains. Gorgeous. Not too sure, Betty. I'm not seeing it on my screen, any smudges on the camera lens. I'm looking at the camera lens now. Don't see anything there. Hoping it's improved for you. Suicidal nightjar. fly into me on several occasions there. All right, everybody. Sadly, it is time for us to say goodbye this evening. But it's been a gorgeous drive. I hope you all enjoyed it. I thank you all again for your very kind words. Wonderful to see the dogs and the cheetahs and a sniff of some honey badgers. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I cannot wait to be back out here again with you very soon, everybody. Thanks for joining us, folks. Bye for now.